All right, thank you. We will call the public employees meeting February 22nd, 2022 to order. Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Alderwoman Davis,
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus,
Present.
Alderman Cone,
Present.
Alderman Coder,
Here.
Alderwoman Spencer, Alderman Oldenburg,
Present.
Alderman Stevens,
Here.
Chairman Bosley.
Present. Thank you.
7 present, we have quorum.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you all being here today. Of course, you know I am the chairman, so we'll pass the chairmanship over to Alderwoman Tyus, Chairwoman Tyus, Vice Chairwoman Tyus.
All of the above.
All of the above. All of the above. And we can get this thing going. We do have, just for disclaimer for those who don't know, there is another committee hearing, the Streets, Traffic, and Refuge meeting right here at 11:30, which I'm the vice chair of, and the woman Tyus is the chair of. So, just for those who don't know. With that, I will pass the chairmanship to you, Alderwoman Tyus.
Okay, thank you very much. First thing, we did the roll call. I don't know, we're not going to excuse all the persons. There's only one absent and she may or may not show up. We don't have any reading of the minutes, because this is our first meeting. We do, however, have to swear the speakers in and then give a disclaimer about what happens when you have speakers. And I just had that in my little stack. Here it is here. Okay. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we're going to have, let's see, who are the speakers at this meeting? I believe it is Ben Borgmeyer and Gary Stoff. So I would first like to swear them in. Gentlemen, I'm going to do them at the same time. I see Gary. Where are you, Ben?
Hello.
Oh, okay. I don't know who you are with that background back there.
Yeah, I know. That's a cool background.
Okay, if you gentlemen would raise your hand. We have to do an oath or affirmation of witness. And since both of you all will be witness, you can either swear or affirm. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, whenever we're having a public hearing, we call the speakers to order in the order of the list in which they appear. In this case, both of the speakers are people who are coming to support the bill, so we won't go through that formality. Whoever the sponsor of the bill, who is the chair of this committee, wants to speak, that'll be fine with me. You all can both just kind of keep your mics on, and after the chairman of the committee presents the bill, if he wants to turn it over to either one of you or both, that will be fine. Mr. Chairman, please, you are free to present Board Bill 183. Before we do that, I'll have the clerk please read the introduction.
Board Bill 183, sponsored by Alderman Brandon Bosley, an ordinance relating to the appointment of and salaries of certain employees in the St. Louis Board of Election Commissioners pursuant to 115049 and 115045 revised statutes of Missouri, allocating certain other employees to a grade with rate and including an emergency clause. The provisions of the sections contained in this ordinance shall be effective with the start of the first pay period following approval by the mayor.
All right, thank you. Alderman Bosley, please present Board Bill 183 to the committee.
Thank you. Board Bill 183 is pretty much a simple pay bill. Of course, a lot of individuals in the city work very hard and are not getting paid, but they should be getting paid. I would say that's, unfortunately, kind of the rhetoric for every department that we have out here. So there are small things that we should be working towards doing, at least going kind of step by step and working with those departments that, haven't had a raise in significantly long amounts of time. I don't believe the Board of Elections have ever had a raise because they have not had an actual pay bill. And that's what this bill is. It gives them the ability to be able to do that. Of course, like we do at a sliding scale and create well, gives them the power to be able to give their employees a raise or not a raise. They also can decrease the rates also that they're being paid based on disciplinary actions and other things. But it's just a simple pay bill to give them, once again, the power to give themselves a raise. So with that being said, I would like either Ben or Gary Stoff, whichever one of you all would like to present to go ahead. I'm not sure who would like to go first, but.
Sure. Gary, do you mind if I speak?
No, not at all. Go ahead.
Okay. So basically the genesis of the pay bill was last year we put in our annual budget an increase for salaries for employees. I think it was a 2 or 3% increase. What happened when the budget went through in July, when we tried to apply the increase to our employees, essentially personnel, our payroll asked us what the authority was. And so in doing that, it became aware that other county departments that are situated within the city, so for example, like the collector revenues department, the sheriff's department, employees in the circuit clerk's office, all have their representative pay bills. And these pay bills basically constitute authority for payroll upon, the budgeting of money to authorize the increases. So then I worked with the Office of Personnel, also other county offices, as far as kind of copying their pay bills and mimicking their pay bills. And then working with the Office of Personnel to situate our employees within grades. So that essentially was the genesis of the pay bill. And that is what it hopefully appears in front of you.
Thank you. Mr. Stoff, you have anything to add?
The other thing, under state statute, we're supposed to, and you reference those sections, Chairman, in the bill, there are certain provisions where we're supposed to notify the legislative body of our salaries and our increases. And this pay bill works out very neatly with that because it references those sections. And if the bill is approved, then it'll constitute the notice that otherwise would be required under state statute. And as you pointed out and Ben pointed out, it establishes a mechanism whereby we can routinely conduct our evaluations. And if a employee's performance warrants it, then our board can approve increases consistent with the scale that's in the bill and subject to the budget that'll be approved by the city of St. Louis. So it really ties that neatly together.
Thank you. I guess now, Chairwoman, as we can take questions from the committee. Unless...
Okay. We will go through by seniority. Alderwoman Davis, do you have any questions or concerns?
I don't have any questions. I do appreciate the efficiency that has been brought forward. And now this department will be added to the annual renewal of that authority that we do for the other departments every year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next person is Alderman Cohen. Any questions or concerns?
No, it sounds as though it's already covered in the budget. So, this is just more of an administrative personnel classification to make sure that the legislation is passed so that we can include them in the pay bill. So I don't have any questions. It seems to make sense to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shane.
Okay. Alderman Coder.
No questions, Madam Vice Chair.
Okay. Alderman Oldenburg.
No questions. Thank you, Madam Vice Chair.
Alderman Stevens.
No questions, but I agree with the Alderman of the 25th, Alderman Cohn, that this does seem administrative. I also think it's quite sort of humorous in that this is a situation wholly unique to St. Louis because we are both the city and also the county by our boundaries. So I'm sorry that you couldn't have gotten your stuff out earlier this past budget, and if it's all the same to the plan, it has to be added as a co-sponsor. And everyone else has frozen up for me. Am I still here?
Yep.
Yes. We hear you.
That's all. Okay, good. Everyone else froze, and I was like, well, that's slew Wi-Fi for you. So that's all I have, Madam Interim Chair. Thank you.
And I do want to say, being here the longest, that they did get, so Gary and I have been serving together for a long time. They did get raises, that it ended up being a lot of times through Ways and Means that they got increases. So they haven't sat here all these years and not got any increases, okay? This is just a better way to do it. But they were in Ways and Means. So I don't want to put that misinformation out there, okay?
Well, no, please, always correct me if I say something incorrect. I like to be on point. So no.
I don't want people saying people have been working there 20 years and never got a raise. That didn't happen, okay?
Some folks have been there for a long time and never got a raise.
Okay. Now me at the Board of Aldermen, now my raise in 30 years has been nil and none hardly, okay?
Right.
But they did get raises and I have no questions or concerns. So we've covered everybody with the on the committee. Mr. Chairman, if you would like to, you can wrap up your presentation.
All right, we do have a committee substitute for this board also. It should be in everybody's.
Oh, okay. Now, I didn't know that. We should have put that before us. I missed it. I'm sorry.
So I thought we had to knock this one out first and then put the committee sub.
We can get it. I missed that. I missed the committee substitute.
I'm sorry, it should be in everybody's box. You got it. It was sent this weekend, I believe Friday or Saturday.
Let's see here. So you Board Bill 1, okay, no, I didn't. I just thought that was the marked copy. So we did change some stuff. Let's see here, okay. I'm sorry. I had the first copy and I thought the second copy was the marked copy. So I'm trying to see what so if we need to, we have entertain a motion to bring Board Bill 183 committee substitute before us.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderwoman Tyus,
Aye.
Alderwoman Davis,
Aye.
Alderman Cone,
Aye.
Alderman Coder,
Aye.
Alderwoman Spencer, Alderman Oldenburg,
Aye.
Alderman Stevens,
Aye.
Chairman Bosley.
Aye.
7 aye votes.
Okay. By your motion, by your vote, you sustain the motion, and Board Bill 183 committee substitute is before us. And Alderman Bosley, why don't you go through and kind of explain to us what the committee substitute does, or the changes? Do you have that before you?
I do. So a lot of these changes are a few things that needed to be added. Like if you look at the first one, it says an ordinance relating to the appointment of salaries of certain employees in the St. Louis Board of Elections. So opposed to employees in, they put employees of. Errors like that. If you see in parentheses on the second line, the word was stricken out. That was in quotations, and opposed to the, it just has the election board. Certain statutes needed to be corrected. And if you go down to a few more of these pages, like page 3 out of 8, first line B, instead of commissioners, commissioners. So just cleaning up the language and making sure that it is written the way that that we like it to be written, and those errors don't change the nature of the bill. So there's nothing specifically changing the nature of the bill. It's just adding or taking away and correcting some of those languages. I mean, different words that need to add apostrophes to be stricken out.
Okay, I'm gonna go back again. Alderwoman Davis, do you have any questions or concerns regarding the committee substitute?
No, I'm in total agreement with those things that were in error in the preparation of the bill. And I thank us, and I say us because it takes a lot of people reading these bills over and over again to make sure that we have them correct. Thank you.
Okay, Alderman Cohen.
I don't have any questions. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
Alderman Coder.
No questions.
Alderman Oldenburg.
No questions. Thank you.
Alderman Stevens.
No questions. Thank you.
And I don't have any questions. I read this and then I just thought that we had a clean copy. So I'm sorry about that. But like I look on page 7 of 8 and they just straighten up the holidays or whatever,
Mhm.
6 of 8, you know, then they took some stuff out. So I actually did read it, but just thought that we had a cleaned up copy. So I have no questions. Okay, Alderman Bosley, you're free to close out, present before the committee, to close out your presentation before the committee.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Thank you all for being here. With that, I'll ask for your favorable consideration of Board Bill 183 Committee Substitute.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion that we pass out Board Bill 183 with a do pass recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
As
Previous roll.
amended.
I'm
Right,
sorry.
it was
No,
committee.
it's a committee substitute.
Committee
Isn't it?
says.
It's a
Yes,
committee
ma'am.
substitute. Right.
Previous roll.
Previous roll.
Okay, we have a motion and a second and a call for previous roll. Any objections to previous roll? Hearing none, Board Bill 183 Committee Substitute is passed out with a do pass recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to the chairman.
Thank you all.
Thank you
Just wanna
very
say
much.
Thank you. Yep.
We're not
We
done.
appreciate you also, Mr. Stoff. Thank you to every member. Hopefully we just continue to work things out. And at some point in time, we will be meeting in this committee again to talk about other problems here that we have been having within the personnel department. We do have a new interim director, new director period. So we'd like to get that person to the table. Just started an email chain with him earlier last week. So we'd like to get everybody to get to know them so we can start sending employees that way. And hopefully we get a different response than what we've been getting here the last 4 or 5 years that, you know, we've been sending employees there, and there's been this back and forth about how and why people are not being picked up and being employed here by the city. So, you know, I know we got another meeting coming up at 11:30. Once again, I appreciate everyone. If there are any comments, any committee members would like to say anything before we adjourn?
Did we pass the bill as amended?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. We
But
passed
it's
it as a
not,
committee
it's not
substitute.
as amended, it's a committee substitute. He brought a whole committee substitute.
Keep saying that to me, because you know what? I'm not totally there today.
Okay.
It's committee so.
It's my 4th Zoom meeting, okay?
I understand.
Oh, man.
I got you, okay?
You're a
Thank you.
trooper.
All right. Well, once again, we appreciate everybody with that. Our committee hearing is this committee is adjourned.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Be safe.